don't let that Lucas facade fool you. Behind that is the heart of a warrior and the blade of one as well. Welcome to Grand Finals here at Fusion.exe. And to Pokemon Stadium we go. Eat this! It's game number 1.
It's been a long time since I've heard you say Grand Finals, and man, do I miss it still. Let's hope that this is a set worthy of such an introduction as we come right on into it. Right off the bat, we're seeing a lot of damage. Ram's still in plenty of explosions mode from the previous set, having to fight his way through a hell of a Ditto to get here. But he's got a lot of work ahead of him with having to reset bracket on WebbJP. Only hoping that he's able to do so. And, you know, keep up the mix-ups, because there's only so many ways you can fight against Lucina. If you're going to be forcing the approach on her, you got to flush out all of those tactics as fast as you can.
Seems like it, yeah. I mean, just baiting out buttons and punishing. That seems to be really the MO of WebbJP in general, no matter what character he winds up playing, whether it's the Lucas or the ZSS. It's going to be the definitely punish that air dodge back to stage. That seems a little ill-advised, I have to say, but somehow, regardless of all that, missing the Nikita entirely. So well done by WebbJP for that, but that might just be part of Ram's key to victory is catch WebbJP slipping above the stage, because outside of that, like, most of your recovery options as Lucina are going to be below the ledge. You're not really asking for a whole lot to be forgiven above there, because you just don't really have a lot to go on, generally speaking. Up tilt is going to take that first stock, and Ram feeling himself looking for a measure of revenge here in Grand Finals, excuse me, after being sent to losers bracket by a score of WebbJP. The score was 2-0 to that set. Looking to get one on the board here.
Yeah, we were talking about this a little bit earlier, but like how I feel like what we're going to be seeing and what makes a difference here. Lucina swinging into grenades is just going to suck for it. Just straight up. A lot of approaches can be mitigated by the presence of grenade, and even though Ram's percentages are climbing to the point where like those trades are really going to mean something, like it's such a small way to just stop Webb from playing the game that he wants to. And that was a misangled forward, so a bit of a shame, but Webb taking advantage of the opportunity to try and tie up these stocks. Ooh. Don't really know how he got away with that down smash, but it worked nonetheless. Very quick play from Ram.
Missing on that grab. Again, the grab range of Lucina is something that you brought up prior, Hangman. It was, yeah, something to be said about that.
Yeah, it's small. It's small. Like I brought up earlier, it's not just that it's a smaller grab, because that's fairly typical for a lot of the sword fighting characters in Smash. It's one of the balancing mechanics to, you know, offset the fact that they have really good shield pressure in general. But Lucina, in particular, is like, it's inwards on her. It's like around her body, as opposed to being extended past her arm, which, you know, doesn't go too far out to begin with.
What do you say? It's like worse than Bowser's grab range in Melee or something? Like,
oh no, that's pathetic.
Yeah, that was actually pathetic. But then again, so is a lot of characters' grab ranges. Really, like ever since the start of the game, WebbJP somehow surviving that. But then again, Ram somehow survived that too. It was just a lot going on under the stage at that particular moment in time. It's going to be a mortar to the back that winds up being the undoing of WebbJP, and Ram taking a 2-stock victory. Now, we were talking about grab ranges before, and yeah, it kind of seemed like, aside from Palutena, whose grab range is just absolutely ridiculous, it seemed like comparatively not a whole lot of grabs were really working, and that's part of the reason why a lot of people tended to gravitate towards Palutena ever since the beginning of the game, Hangman. It was just because it seemed like Palu was the only one with a truly, not just a working grab, but a borderline broken one.
I mean, it's good. It's very good. I'm not gonna front on that, but it's not like the best. I think it's just the most applicable because very much like Lucina, where Palutena is able to put out lots of shield pressure, she's able to, you know, supplement it with a good grab, especially the pivot grab and a notably good dash grab. Lucina, she's missing out on those. Her pivot grab isn't too bad, but as is a consistent trait in this game, pivot grabs tend to just be much better than their standing and shield counterparts. Now, with all that being said, I feel like there's still plenty more to this character than just having a bad grab. It's maybe one of the more blatant faults that Lucina has to offer, but...
It's also more spread across the board, just comparatively speaking.
Like, I still feel like, in general, like, Snake and his shield are a formidable force for WebbJP for quite a number of reasons. One of those just being grenades. I really feel like grenades makes the difference in this matchup. There's just so much damage that Webb takes for existing.
Yeah. And really just the, we saw how small that shield was getting on WebbJP just from really normal damage. It wasn't even trying to be shield pressure necessarily from Ram, just kind of throwing a hitbox in the face of WebbJP and seeing what would come of it. Not necessarily trying to get a shield break, but I kind of wonder if that starts to get ramped up over time, perhaps getting a shield breakage, and that's a free stock, ostensibly. Now as WebbJP trying to establish his sword even more, this is going to be a back throw off of the stage, and Ram at 159%. You got to be swinging for the fences here, I feel like, and indeed, that up tilt, excuse me, yeah, that was forward tilt, wasn't it? I didn't see.
Still looking good here as far as Webb's trying to tie things up while he's still living on borrowed time on the stock. 136 is nothing to scoff at with Snake on the field.
Not even a little bit. I mean, this is, considering how quickly that stock can be taken, for example, with an up tilt, you know, just throwing that out there. WebbJP being taken down to the final stock. Ram very close to going up 2-0 here. WebbJP needs to show a little bit more of that adaptability. Was really just trying to do him dirty and plant the C4 on him, and indeed he does. That C4 was sitting right on your forehead, girl. What are you doing? That was on your bang. But throwing out that nair, trying to establish a little bit more space between herself and this espionage tactician known as Solid Snake.
Webb is he's in the hot seat now.
Yeah, in more ways than one, but
he's in control of the situation, but I feel like just like in the previous stock, just one up tilt and he just gets melted. Like, Webb cannot let go of any of this control. And I didn't even know there was an explosion there to save him. Like, I don't even know who hit him. Was it just another grenade?
Good grab, however, and the back throw to once again get him off stage. Was looking to get this kill. Oh, just barely taken out of position to be able to punish. Finally getting that up tilt to take stock number 2, but might just be running out of real estate here at 151%. All it takes is one up tilt. You miss, you come in empty on one jump, that's an up tilt, and not going to get the kill off of the tilt just yet, but well, now you are. You're sitting at 29%. You're chilling. All you need to do, raise your boot to the sky and declare yourself the victor. Ram going up 2-0 on WebbJP.
You know, Stu, I'm inclined to think that we're going to carry this momentum into the next set. Because I really do think Ram is playing like a man who refuses to lose right now.
Yeah, I mean, this is not looking all that comfortable for WebbJP, and it makes you wonder how long the Lucina thing will be kept up for. We have seen him adapt before. Webb will have to we'll have to continue on and win this if you want to win this in 3 games. You're going to have to come out of the victor anyway. Otherwise, you're going to have to eat this, not just this Mega Smash, but also this 3-0. Also, it's a little sickening, by the way. I'm just going to point this out, and you can make of this what you will, Hangman. It's a little sickening that he keeps insisting on this eat this Mega Smash message when 60-70% of his stocks have been taken by up tilt. Is that not just a little, just a little hypocritical?
Up tilt is the Mega Smash. Like, it has more kill potential than most Smash attacks, to be honest.
This is your defense?
Honestly, Snake's up tilt, that's the Mega Smash I've never seen one. It's a ticking time bomb! Like, you reach a high percentage, not only do you have to worry about the Snake playing the game well, but they could all of a sudden decide, hey, I'm just gonna put out this one move, and if you run into it, it's your fault.
Yeah, I will admit that up tilt is definitely the ace in the hole for pretty much any Snake player, but I'm just saying, this is the principle of the matter. If you want to go strictly by the literal sense, that's just a little infuriating. But I will...
And some more. Maybe that could be the Mega Smash. Hey, look at that! An up smash even work. Maybe that's the Mega Smash.
Perhaps. Perhaps that is the case, but yeah, I will say that there's definitely some truth to the ridiculously powerful frame 6 up tilt being the Mega Smash. I will not fully deny this this particular point of yours. However, I am going to insist that it's just a little infuriating. Different strokes, different folks, as I say. Either way, it's going to be.
Mega Smash Man just to take yet another stock.
Yeah.
And Webb is on reset life now.
As he continues on, I mean, Ram right now looking nigh upon unstoppable. That dash attack, there's only so much you can do about it. It comes out, what? I want to say like frame 5, frame 6 or something like that. I don't have it committed to memory, but it's... You're just getting caught by so much, and you're not doing enough to neutralize the offense of Ram. And you're getting blown up by C4s. Make that a quick 3-0. Certified Ram Jam in Grand Finals, and now the bracket has been reset. Slates have been wiped clean. Hangman, it's a whole new ball game.
We're out of the frying pan and into the fire now. That
I would argue.
All right, listen.
With the 1,000 C4s that we have seen planted here tonight, we have been in the fire for quite some time.
I'm a very big fan of WebbJP. If it hasn't been made clear by tonight, and if anyone hasn't, heard me speak of him in the past, but the Lucina just wasn't here for it. Well, like, without Lucas's tools, I feel like it's evident that Webb doesn't have a clear-cut plan for mitigating a lot of the shenanigans that Snake brings to the table. And there's nothing wrong with that. But I feel like there is something wrong with bringing that Lucina back into the reset grands. Like, I'm sitting here thinking it's Lucas time, and now I'm going from worrying about Ram to worrying. I mean, I'm going back from worrying about Webb to worrying about Ram, because now he's gonna have to deal with a Lucas, and it's what made him lose in the first place.
Call an ambulance, but not for me.
Like, actually.
Oh man, this could. You're right. It could get a little messy, but there's only one way to know for sure. Has he actually mentioned something about time to actually play the game? Oh my gosh. Okay, I'm just reading chat. That's scary. So, yeah, if we see Lucas, I don't really know about that. Maybe the complexion of the set changes a little bit, but then again, if you're able to take down the Lucas of WebbJP, that says something about your acumen for the game, gotta say. So all the opportunity in the world right now for Ram. Gets to say that he took a set off of WebbJP, but wants so much more. And this Lucas rears its head to see the most fearsome snake on the field might be the one being held by Lucas. The taunt coming out, and, well, it could be Ram eating some Mega Smashes. Let's just say that.
We've talked up this Lucas versus Snake bout for quite some time, and we've seen time and time again that Webb is confident in this matchup, with good reason. Like, let's see if Ram has any way to flip the script. This is our reset grand finals. A potential game, 5 games of this.
Oh, we've been starting to use the true finals terminology a little bit more in Jersey, so
it's a nice moniker. You know,
yeah.
for those who remember it.
Kind of like it kind of depends, honestly, just on who happens to be streaming. Chris will use it. Others don't, and really, there's no right or wrong answer. It's more just like, you know, what it is what it is. And Jar right now. Did I really just say Jar because it was on the screen? Sure did. Ram drawing first blood on this Lucas that has absolutely terrorized the region. Dropping through with the Nair. That's going to be a back throw, and that's going to be a kill. Yeah. 2 stocks apiece.
Like, the routes that this man has out of down tilt is devastating. There's so many ways that Webb can mix you up. I love seeing it every time.
Oh my gosh. I mean, you want to tell us more about that as we saw that absolute decimation on the second stock, or what was
interaction right there? But actually, that's the never really occurred to me. The wind box from Sign Magnet can mess around with the grenades. I don't know if it's going to have that big of an impact, but I guess that's just like another tool in the kit to help Webb just a little bit more.
There's always the potential. You can never.
There's so many ways that Webb can make this matchup a nightmare. Like, I say it over and over again because there really are. Like, all the normals and all the specials and all the smash attacks, literally everything that Lucas is made of, seems tailor-made for making Snake suffer. Like, he has really good ways to come in, multiple ways to come in that can maintain neutral space pretty safely. Has the ability to heal within this matchup in, like, a reasonable sense. Like, you know, sometimes there's a matchup where there's, like, a character will have, like, an energy move or 2, but, like, it's kind of a harder call-out on if Psy Magnet is scooping that up for some heals. Here, there's explosions aplenty. It's just the very nature of Snake. So, there's a whole lot of opportunity for Webb to take things back and heal some percentages off in potentially clutch situations.
Oh, don't get me wrong. Look, I played enough Game & Watch to know just how susceptible Snake can be to having these explosions turned on its head. Like, down B is pretty much my my best friend in this particular match. And you get so happy. Say what?
I said, and with good reason.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it really depends on what you're bucketing, to be completely fair, but that goes into the values of the blips and all that good stuff. Yeah, that's untechable. That's game 1. You kind of saw there wasn't even just a red flash. There might as well have been a sign and it's like, you're not even going to try. So, bye. Oh, man. You got to love how there wasn't even, like, the red splashy screen at the end there. That was something else.
I like the idea of what he was going for, like trying to interrupt, but you got to make that decision, like, fast. You can't just hang around and wait for that to be your reaction.
Oh, absolutely. At some point, you have decided whether or not you wanted to live or die, and that's just the choice you're gonna have to live with, unfortunately.
boils down so many of these offstage interactions when fighting against against Lucas specifically. Because with Nest, you can jump in front of the PK Thunder, and then that's a wrap. But like figuring out ways to mitigate how Lucas is flying at you takes a little bit more effort, and it's a hard call on the resources. Like Snake can do it. Like if you force like the mortar from up smash, and if you force the Nikita in the way and grenades and whatnot, like if you put stuff in the way, you force Lucas to like travel through it, and it's a lesser distance. Like there are ways to mitigate that recovery. Not easy, but doable. You can't just throw yourself in the way of it, especially in like a high-risk situation like that. And we'll see what Game 2 has to offer for us, because that was a pretty close game, all things considered. And from everything we've gassed up to this point, it shouldn't have been a close game.
Yeah, honestly, it's a little crazy how that works out sometimes, but that's where quality Smash players will get you, just kind of has you guessing, and it's really just gives truth to the whole thing, where it's like you're not even playing the characters at some point, you really are playing the individual players. Like it's you and a person sitting across from you, and whatever character you chose to represent you, that's all well and good, but just because you win a matchup on paper doesn't mean you're winning it on the sticks. WebbJP right now trying to prove that wrong, but Ram is just absolutely oppressive right now. And we'll draw first blood yet again. But then again, that's what happened last game. Really the first game of this whole set. And here we go with the river dance. Can't believe it. Sorry.
Like that was almost a patented red stock, but the interruption from the Nikita calling a bit of an early end to the spot. No worries though, Webb still managing to take things back. But considering how Smash Bros. Is a bit on the smaller end for stages, I'm surprised this is still staying as even as it is. I would have assumed that like there's just less space for Webb to have a opportunity to run away. I was expecting more explosions, to be honest with you. And we're still getting plenty of explosions.
Yeah, I mean, credit where credit's due. Ram is not going away from his offense. No real reason to, all things considered. You can't really expect the magnet to come out every single time. You know that Webb is just a little too button happy to let that happen. As he tries to connect again with that down air loop, which has been proven to be effective. You kind of have to expect him to use magnet there, but usually you're trying to trap him into something while they're healing. Not going to be the case that time, as you did see Ram go for the dash attack right after, but coming out just a little bit too late after deploying the Nikita. Now Magnet in the face yet again. Saw the grenade in the hand of Ram, but opted for a dash attack instead. Still to no avail. Nikita yet again. Yeah. You want to keep healing me up, that's perfectly fine, but Ram said, you know what, I'll just how about this? I'll take you to 0, and in exchange you give me a stop. How thoughtful.
It's one of those things where it's like Ram has to make that decision of like, do I strike and worry about healing? Like, can I make back this round, or do I just let him land for free or approach for free? And we've seen quite a few times here, Ram is willing to let Webb heal off a good chunk of damage, and he'll still get his kill. So like weighing out those pros and cons, kind of a heavy decision to make, but he's doing it very well.
Yeah, Ram thus far has been nothing short of impressive, and just messing up ever so slightly on the self-stick C4 under the stage, but maybe getting a little bit of a miscalculation on the angles. Nevertheless, not going to mind that down air coming out so quickly. It's going to hit pretty consistently, and saying to WebbJP, you've got yourself a pretty decent down air. that with which you can stomp on your opponent seemingly ad infinitum. I got one too. And you're going to eat that all the way out to the ledge, but right now they reset neutral, and we are at about even. Ram is actually down right now. Looking for that smash attack to try to even things out. Now that's a mega smash for you. But Ram looking to finish this thing off. The smash attack goes the wrong way. Got turned around in the batter's box. But the kick is going to end it. And well done by WebbJP. Bringing that one back. Is up 2-0. And perhaps the task of summoning this Lucas just a little too daunting for Ram to take on. However, it's not over yet. So now Ram finds himself in a similar situation, down by a score of 2-0 to the Lucas of WebbJP. However, it was not the situation that he found himself in last time, because that was in winners semifinals where it was best of 3. Thankfully for him, this is best of 5, and you have a chance to fight out of that 2-0 deficit. So perhaps something has been learned, but nevertheless, it cannot be understated, Hangman, the mental strain of having lost 4 straight games to the Lucas of WebbJP.
It's definitely a rough deal, but I feel like at this point, there's no going back. Like, we are in for the long haul when it comes to this the Snake Lucas matchup. If Ram has another character, I'd be very interested in seeing it, but he's trying his damnedest to stay afloat here. It's just Webb keeps on showing, time and time again, how proficient he is in this matchup and with his character. Like, no matter how well Ram is able to push WebbJP against the wall, Webb is fighting back, and he's doing so really well.
Yeah. So here we go. This is a lot riding on this particular game. For Webb, it's the tournament. For Ram, it's his tournament life. For at least one person in the chat, it's their mortgage, apparently. And this is the only in the chat. Let me tell you, twitch.tv/CollisionSmash. But as we keep on here for game number 3, WebbJP trying to reassert his dominance. That this Lucas has almost oppressive reign with the Zaire just poking at Ram, smacking him around with a toy, smacking Snake around with a toy snake. That is borderline cruel at this juncture, Hangman. But here's WebbJP doing it without a care in the world.
You use his legal name if you're going to bring him up. That's Rope Snake.
Rope Snake. Is that the legal name?
That's what's on his voting license, yes.
Ah, okay. Gotcha. She's suggesting that Lucas is a child of privilege somehow, or... I'm pretty sure none of the Earthbound kids have dads, but either way.
And Ness does.
Well, okay. Yes, technically.
You call him on the phone. Hell, he might be a phone.
Yeah, that was actually a sick joke in the Ultimate game when that came up as what is it, a spirit?
Yeah, Ness's dad is a spirit in Ultimate, and it's just the sprite is his phone, because the only time they're never on screen in Earthbound. You just talk to them when you want to get money from them or give them money.
That's right.
Earthbound's kind of a weird game, but definitely a good one. It's one I would recommend playing.
Earthbound is amazing, absolutely. It's one of those things, like, if you have ever liked any part of Undertale, please play Earthbound. It's so good. Like, even for its time, all of its charm holds up. It's so amazing. But
Earthbound's a good experience. Mother 3, I say, is a good game. Lucas's game is just in general a very good game. Good story, good design. It was good. It was a good Lucas.
I have not played Mother 3, so perhaps someday,
I recommend
once it's
it.
released. But
Oh, never mind.
Yeah, didn't mean to high road you there, pal.
Hey, I'm actually surprised Ram managed to get out of that situation. And to take a stock in the meantime.
Again, Ram is just, it's that situational awareness. Perhaps WebbJP was in autopilot for just a second there. But yeah, Ram finding his way through and going to be just fine with the results of that particular interaction, as we're even at 2 stocks apiece, at least for a few seconds until this throw happens, and then yeah, now you're at 1.
Here we are, and this is the curtain calling for Ram. Is he going to be able to snatch a game out, or is WebbJP coming in for the dominant 3-0 reset finish? All the evidence is pointing towards, you know, Webb coming out on top. But Ram's proven that he could at least fight with the best of them. He could really bring this down to the wire.
There we go. Just like that, you see these combos coming out from Lucas and able to hit himself up off of the stage. There is no unrecoverable situation for WebbJP. I am convinced he can come back from just about anything. But the up smash, oh god, the fact that has armor. All right,
it's intangibility. Like,
yeah.
It don't matter what you throw at it. He's not around to play.
He ducks in the background for just a second. You know that.
No, he just don't have a hitbox or hurt box rather.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's more the fact that I view it as him kind of just ducking into the background, because I know it's not an actual Z-axis thing, but yeah, in my mind it is, I suppose. Is how I justify it. Either way, WebbJP sitting at 165. Ram on death's door, and indeed will walk right on through with the help of WebbJP. The boatsman across the river sticks, it seems, and tough to row a boat with that particular twig, but seems to get the job done. WebbJP wins it 3-0. That is 5 straight wins on the snake of Ram, and indeed some pretty effective Lucas play overall. The Lucina got the job done.